Hello trainers and welcome to my first video with Project Artemis. I'm Riley. For those of you that don't know me, I have been playing at a lot of regionals this past season and I'm super happy to be joining the team. And yeah, today we have a really cool deck to show off. This list is inspired by Ross Cawthon, a very well-known, very good player who's been playing a long time. He played this deck to the World Championships and was the highest placing Miraidon deck in the tournament. Unfortunately, the highest placing Miraidon in the tournament did not make day 2, but he ended 5-3 and who knows, one game away from potentially making a huge run at the World Championships this past season. So we wanted to highlight this deck and it is pretty cool. So we have a lot of stuff going on here. I'm gonna go through real quick. A lot of different card inclusions. So I did make 2 changes. First of all, this list previously had 4 Pokemon catchers and 2 bosses orders, and it also had a switch, and instead of the switch I added in Iron Metal, and I'll explain those changes here in a second. So going into the list, first of all, this is Miraidon deck. Obviously it's questionable these days whether to play Miraidon at all. Maybe Joltik Box is just a better way to go, and especially now with Joltik Gold Dingo. But there is some merit to playing this deck, and some of the benefits are that you can swing with Iron Hands as soon as turn 1 going second, which is huge, and Joltik Box cannot do that because you have to spend a turn using the Joltik's attack to power up your Iron Hands, whereas in this deck you can go Squawkabilly, Carmine, find Double Generator, start amping your opponent's Pokemon, take 2 prizes before they even get to do anything, pretty much. So it puts a lot of pressure on. Really cool deck. Now I will say that doesn't happen that often, but we can really reliably get to a turn 2 ambi very much if we choose first. So that's kind of the goal of the deck. We have 2 Squawkabillys and 4 Carmines to help us get there. So we have a lot of draw power on turn 1. We can see pretty much 15 to 20 cards on the first turn of the game if we're able to Squawk, Carmine, maybe even restart, and yeah, play down a lot of cards, get deep into our deck. So essentially the goal is to use Iron Hands as early as possible in the matchups where we can, which is most of the meta, to be honest. Gardevoir, Dragapult, Zoroark, Charizard, like Gimme Ghouls. Like you can amp pretty much most of the decks in the format like before they can even evolve up. So that's pretty good. And then by the time they're able to knock out the Iron Hands, that should activate our Zekrom, and the Zekrom ramps up damage similar to Charizard EX, which can get you up to 230 damage after they take 2 prize cards, and up to 330 when they're down to 2 prize cards, which is already better than Charizard could do, which required your opponent to be at 1 prize card remaining before they can do 330 damage. So Zekrom is a really strong attacker. Now you might be wondering, why is there only 1 Miraidon in a deck that we are calling Miraidon? Well, I was at first curious about this, and I did reach out to Dr. Ross Cawthon himself to understand why he built the deck the way he did, and we actually don't end up using Miraidon that often. It's kind of there to help us get started if we need to, but Miraidon usually loses a lot of value after turn 2, because the damage that we can do with Zekrom for the same amount of energy is, and no drawback like having a pivot, is usually better than attacking with Miraidon. So generally we don't even bench Miraidon that often, which is why we only have 1. So mainly our attackers are just Iron Hands, Zekrom, and sometimes the Tapu Koko. And then Tapu Koko I have barely used at all, but it's really good in certain situations where your opponent took a prize card and you can fall behind, like against Charizard. This is a really strong attacker, because say we amp their first Charmander, then we can go Vengeful Shock to paralyze the active Charizard. They can't really move it, they can't retreat, they could throw it if they want, then they have to re-bench it, and we could probably amp that one or knock out the other Charmander after they do that. So it puts a lot of pressure on their Charizard, so they can't just go Charizard and knock us out, which is really scary. But luckily there isn't too much Charizard in the format, so we don't have to worry about that as much, but it's a nice tool to have. Latias is really good. We're almost always benching Latias because we don't want our Iron Hands to get trapped and then we have to lose that energy. as well as turn 1, if we start anything that isn't Iron Hands, we want to be able to, or if we do start Iron Hands, we want to be able to pivot that to the bench with the Skyliner ability for free retreating on all of our basics, and then start using our electric generators to power it up. Mew EX and Fez standard drop power, really good to have. I'm pretty much always aggressively getting the Mew onto the bench. I'm thinning my hand as much as possible so I can maximize my drop power, because by the end of the game we want to be able to draw into Prime Catcher, Boss, Last Generator, Pokemon Catcher, or Blood Moon if we need to attack. Speaking of Blood Moon can be a really good closer, because usually our opponents have a Pokemon that can get knocked out by Blood Moon at the end of the game, like on their bench, like Pheasantipity, Genesect, maybe their own Mew, Squawkabilly, stuff like that. So Blood Moon is nice because usually after we use our first Magneton, if they knock out our attackers and all of our energies in play, we just need a Blood Moon with 1 or 0 energy sometimes to get our last 2 prize cards. Iron Bundle is a inclusion that Ross had suggested that he'd been thinking about. Instead of the Switch is really mainly there for Grimmsnarl, but there's been a lot less Grimmsnarl in the format, and we're not really too worried about it. And the ones that did do well at Worlds didn't even play Miraidon, so we're not really worried about the Switch, and it's a one-off card that we might not find at the time we need it. So I decided to cut that for the Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle's been pretty good, actually. I really like it. It helps a lot against Gardevoir, because most of the time they could have like a board early on with 2 Ralts in play. We can Iron Bundle that, KO Kirlia, or we can move a Gardevoir EX out of the active, which is pretty much one of the few matchups where we can't deal with their active Pokemon. Also can help against Dragapult if they have a Dragapult in the active with no other, with everything else as 1 prize around their bench, then we can just use that to Iron Bundle their active. Our Iron Hands is probably still alive, so we can use the Ampy very much to take 4 prizes with that Pokemon instead of trying to have to deal with the Dragapult EX. So yeah, Iron Bundle's been pretty good. I really like that. 4 research, 4 common mind. Really want to be drawing through our deck with these as much as possible. Like I mentioned, I made a change where I added an extra boss orders because I feel like 2 maybe wasn't enough. There's sometimes where you want to just have a guaranteed boss for game or early on aggression instead of trying to rely on catcher flips. Whereas Ross did have 4 Pokemon catchers in his deck. Pokemon catcher is really nice because, I mean, sometimes you just get lucky. Like, you can research into Pokemon catcher, flip heads, knock out what you need. And I mean, there's usually with this deck, ideally you're only playing 3 attacks after turn 1 to win the game. So it's really important that we get to target the right Pokemon at the right time. So the Pokemon catchers are nice, although I do prefer having the extra boss, and plus we have Prime Catcher. So we have a grand total of 4 guaranteed gust effects in our deck, which I really like. 4 generator, of course. Nest Balls and Ultra Balls want to be maximized so that we can find all the Pokemon that we need at the right time. And also, we generally don't even need to rely on Miraidon since we have so many Pokemon search. And the Super Rod is also nice to sometimes get Pokemon like Pheasantipity or Blood Moon or an extra Zekrom that we may have discarded with Carmine or Squawk on our first turn that we want to put back in the deck, or just to refill our deck with energy so that our generators hit a little bit better. So I really like this deck. It's been so fun so far. I was struggling at first when I started playing it because I was playing it like the old Miraidon used to, where I just grab Miraidon, get my lightning Pokemon, get them on the bench. But this deck does play a little bit differently, so I do want to make sure to highlight that your board is usually going to look something like Squawkabilly almost every game. Iron Hands is usually the first attacker. Magnemite on your bench, that's 3. Latias, 4. And then probably Mew, and then your secondary attacker, which is going to be either Zekrom or, I don't know, sometimes Tapu Koko or Miraidon, or even another Iron Hands. So you want to keep your space open for that, and then Iron Bundle can get in the mix as well. So yeah, benching Miraidon does actually kind of hurt you most games, so you want to avoid doing that, which is something I learned the hard way. So don't do that if you don't need to, but sometimes it can be really good attackers. So with that being said, let's get into some games. All right, getting into this first game here with the Miraidon deck inspired by Ross Cawthon. So looks like we did not win the flip. That's okay. Generally we want to be going first with this deck because it's really important to get those energy attachments going, and As well, we want to draw a lot of cards on our first turn so that we can thin our deck and be way more Iona proof later in the game. It's like they will be going first, so that tells me this might be a Goldengo deck or something that can start attacking earlier. Okay, the Zorua, interesting. I'm wondering if they... This is actually kind of annoying, because if they're able to attack immediately with, like, you go attach this turn and then attach next turn plus Reshiram, they could knock out the Squawk ability. So we do have to move this, like, immediately. Oh, it's a Cynical. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I wonder, they might not even be attacking with the Zorua. But the Cynical is really not that good for us. Okay, so we want to try and deal with that as soon as possible. If they have Candy type Flosion, that honestly, yeah, I'm not sure what we're going up against, but we can go ahead and start powering up an Iron Hands. That is for certain. That Cynical is not going anywhere, so we'll definitely deal with that. Looks like we have all of our support Pokemon, which is good. Both Zekroms, both Iron Hands, both Magneton, or Magnemite and both Magneton, nice. And so yeah, okay, we're down double research, which is obviously not great, but we do have 4 Carmines, or 3 Carmines, okay. But we had a lot of draw supporters in the prize cards, but that's all good. Shouldn't need too many, and we've only priced 1 energy, it looks like, which is pretty good. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this. Another prize card is a Nest and an Ultra Ball. Okay. Okay. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and just grab a Magnemite right here, to be honest, because we want better stuff to draw into. Grab this. We also want to find Latias so we can pivot this out of the active in case they do somehow have a Zoroark attack, although I doubt that. And we're just gonna go ahead and dump this energies because we want to have some in the bank in the discard pile for Magnemite. And honestly, we could motivate even if we really want to, but like, shouldn't need to do that. And this is exactly what we wanted. Magneton, maybe not, but definitely this will come into play. Definitely this. Hopefully they can't tag with Zoroark because these are big liabilities for that reason, but I think we can go ahead and honestly, if we just hit 3 off these 2 generators, we will be able to amp this thing. So let's go ahead and hit that right now. Ooh, there we go. 2 energies off the first generator. See if we can get another one. Literally just need 1. And we get 2. Easy money. Alright. I don't even know where this attachment should go. Honestly, let's start powering up this genome hacking because this is gonna be really good. And you know what? We can even squawk and seize, like, actually, maybe I shouldn't have put that there, to be honest, but I got too excited. I forgot we can still squawk. Ooh! Okay, yeah, this deck goes crazy sometimes. This it's pretty rare that we do actually get a turn 2 attack like this, but you know what, we did already retreat, so I actually can't do the prime catcher, but amping this to get rid of their draw power is already really nice, so I'm really happy with this turn. Can't complain, that's for sure. But yeah, so this deck, like, in general, you still want to be choosing first because the chances that you do get to attack going second, like on your going first, like on your first turn going second is pretty unlikely. Like, that's the first time I've done that in maybe 20-30 games. So definitely an anomaly there, but love to see it when possible. But ideally you just want to be drawing through your deck as much as possible so that you're set up for the turn 2 Iron Hands amp you very much to get through these 1 prize decks. Now, I'm not sure exactly what kind of deck they're playing, but it's not looking great for them if they can't respond to this Iron Hand. So let's see what they're able to come up with. They could find a counter catcher. Maybe, like, I don't even know how they would attach here. Ends PP up, E-switch, or Ends Castle plus Prime with the Ends PP up on the bench. I'm not even sure, to be honest, but like I said, the Iron Hands this deck is really meant to capitalize on the evolving decks. And like in this spot, they're gonna need at least 2 turns, I'm assuming, before they can do anything. Like imagine if this was a Dragapult or a Gardevoir. Like sure, they could Miracle Force, but they're definitely not having 2 turns of Monkey Dory attachments that fast. So plus like 3-second discard. Like it's possible, but it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot of pressure they gotta keep up with. So that's where this deck can capitalize. And I'm not even sure. Yeah, okay, so it's just gonna be an Ember maybe, or a all right, look at that, 4 free prize cards right off the bat. At this point, the best thing we can do is just set up for more victory. So I think I kind of don't even want to Carmine this hand because we're already pretty low on, yeah, it's low on draw supporters. Even if I just like sat there and amped again without doing anything, like it's just so much pressure. Like we have a boss and everything else we need in hand to win. So like they'd have to disrupt me, and then even then we have more outs left in our deck than we would if we did Carmine the hand. So yeah, definitely a great example of how this deck can capitalize on evolving decks and potentially slow starts.
Hi folks, Sable here from Project Artemis. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsor Heavy Play for sponsoring the team and showcase off a few of their wonderful products that they make. Starting off, we have their deck box RFG Max. This is a wonderful little magnetic deck box, flip alcove with a picture display for you to showcase your favorite card. We also have their Dice Box RFG. What's nice about this is it magnetizes to itself, so that is not moving. You don't have to worry about like accidentally knocking over your dice tray or anything. It also magnetizes to deck box. Their full system is entirely magnetic, so you can dice box to dice box, deck box to deck box, deck box to dice box here. And even going one step further, they have a foldable magnetized playmat. So instead of rolling things up, this folds up nice and flat. You can throw it in your backpack real easy. And then your dice box also will magnetize to it. Keep your dice box on there. Keep it on your playmat nice and flat there in the corner. And that thing is not moving. Once again, we just want to say thank you to Heavy Play. If you're interested in any of the products seen here, please go to heavyplay.com/Artemis or use code Artemis at checkout for 10% off your order. They have red, blue, black, white, gray, green, purple, a whole bevy of colors in their entire suite for you to use to your heart's content. We really do recommend you checking out their product. Anyway, back to the video.
All right. Looks like we won the coin flip. I'm definitely going to choose first here. Like I said, energy attachments are really important. So we do want to prioritize getting a good setup. And then, ooh, this hand is not that good. Yeah, we want to get a... hopefully, ideally get a lightning attachment down to one of our better attackers, and then also be able to draw with Carmine and or Squawk. Oh, this is not a good game. Yeah, alright, let's see what we can do with this. Sorry, definitely gonna put down Zekrom. Honestly, Tapu Koko isn't the worst, but Zekrom at least can start swinging pretty early, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Bench the bundle and end turn and see what they do. Maybe they'll Iono us, maybe we'll get a better hand. Let's see what happens. But we definitely did not draw as much as we would have liked to normally on the first turn of the game. But we don't have Squawkabilly in play, so that is a positive. Don't have to worry about that getting scream-tailed, but I think that they are, yeah, gonna have a pretty good start here. Okay, they did Iono us. So let's see what we can do with this. Now, if we can somehow... Okay, there is a world... Okay, there's a world where we can power up an Iron Hands this turn. That would be pretty sick. It's definitely possible. Okay, we don't have any energy in Discraft, so I would like to top deck a lightning. Okay, that's Magneton Okay, that's, yeah, we can get Latias, Iron Hands. Okay, this is interesting. Now, we don't have anything good on the bottom, so I'll have to shuffle my deck anyway if I want to get the stuff with this Ultra Ball. So let me just go ahead and do a quick price check here. See if Latias is in the deck. Latias is in the deck. Double Iron Hands in the deck. Double Magneton in the deck. Okay. So we pretty much have all of our squad. Okay, price of research, a Carmine. Not terrible. Boss. We have 2 catchers in our hand. Here's a generator. Priced and 2 energies. Okay. We got all 6 prizes. Luckily, prize checking with this deck is pretty simple. We can. Alright, so I think we're gonna go Ultra Ball. As catcher, at least. We're gonna grab. It's so unfortunate that we don't have lightning energies to get off this, but Alright, actually it looks like how can we maximize this hand? I think honestly, I'm just gonna thin the deck of the squawk abilities that we don't need anymore. So I'm just gonna go like this. We don't really need the catchers because I can just bundle the KO one of these rolls. So it'd be pretty good if I was able to get a KO. I'm just gonna go like this, get the Iron Hands, hit 2 off generator, research into another generator, hit 2 more, and we're good to go. Okay, it's fine. Still hit. If I had 1 more card in my hand, we could have gone for Mew. That would have been pretty good. But there's Mew. Not much else. Okay. Now the unfortunate part about this. Oh, actually, yeah. The unfortunate part about this is that I don't have any energies in my discard pile, so I can't even magnetic charge. But that's fine. I think we can go like this. I think I'll go ahead and just Hyper Blower here. Because they don't have any energies in discard pile yet, so maybe they're not able to find any. Maybe the routes get stuck, who knows. Like, yeah, I think it's like okay to just get this attachment down and then see what they do next turn. I think we'll be okay. Debating whether or not to evolve this Magneton. Like, can't really do. I guess they could like double monkey KO it, right? So like maybe I'll just go ahead and evolve it. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunate that we have to pass right there, but I think it'll be okay. Let's see what they end up doing. If they just have like Candy Gardevoir, like Screamtail, Monkey, Knockout Mew, that'd be pretty bad. For that reason, I maybe shouldn't have benched the Mew, but usually we do like having the draw power in play, and it can be we do want to use be able to use our nest balls and ultra balls to find Latias and our other attackers. So debatable whether or not I should have put the Mew down, but let's see what they're able to do on this turn. So they have 1 psychic in the discard pile already. Looks like their hand might not be that strong. Never mind, that could be Candy Guardy. Well, they don't even need the Candy Guardy, but okay. Like, so unfortunately in this matchup we can't really pressure the Gardevoirs, so, and I've already used Bundle and 2 catchers, so we will have to either Super Rod and Nest Ball the bundle back if we want to, or Artisan is probably going to be in play, so Super Rod the bundle back to get around this Gardevoir if they started Miracle Forcing here. Honestly, we could swing with Tapu Koko and freeze the Gardevoir. That would be, or paralyze. That would be that'd be an interesting play as well. It does require us to have at least 1 hit off of a generator, and we need to find 2 more we have 2 more generators left in our deck. Not being able to dig through a deck on turn 1 is pretty annoying, because we can't. Our draws would probably be a lot worse, and also not being able to get the energies in discard pile for the Magneton makes this thing really weak, which is not great. And it looks like, I wonder if they're even able to get. I wonder how much energy they can get in the discard pile. They could go. They have like an Ultra Ball in hand. They could go like Vessel, Ultra Ball. Or maybe they have Secret Box in hand. If they have Secret Box in hand, they could grab Vessel here. And then start doing stuff with my Mew. Okay. No Psychics in discard still. Or one Psychic, but like no Psychics off that Secret Box. That's pretty relevant. It looks like both of us are playing limited early energy in discard pile game so far. So it looks like the best attack they could probably do here is just like Mind Bend or Slap. Yeah. I'm not seeing another way for them to get energy in discard pile. I mean, they could play the Vessel now, get an energy. I mean, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they'll be able to put anything meaningful off. Okay, our turn. All right, so okay. Now, actually, I can Squawk or Carmine the lightning energies away, which is pretty good. Benching the Tapu Koko probably is not good at this point. So yeah, we're just gonna dump these. Hopefully draw another. Okay. Ooh, I can get 3 energies. All right, this is actually really good. All right. So we can get 3 energies with the Magton for max value, which is really nice. The Mew will be able to give us draw power. We can put the bundle, the Fez, maybe the Tapu Koko also back in the deck, which is really nice. And then we can amp this Ross, and then potentially. It seems pretty good actually. All right, so let's go ahead and debating whether or not to. Right, I'm gonna play this Nuzlocke. We could start loading up another Iron Hands here. I think having 2 Iron Hands in play in this matchup is just like really strong. So let's do that. Grab this. Don't need to. Yeah, we'll just fail this Ultra Ball so we can just have a better draw. Actually, no. I think grabbing Latias is good here. Yeah, we're probably gonna want to have Latias in play. So let's go ahead and just get that down right away. Hopefully they can't like Flutter Mane trap it, but let's just do this. We'll get the Coco. Never know when that might come up. We are down a good amount of Gust, so get these guys back in there. Go ahead and restart for 3. Okay. So we'll go ahead and use this Overvolt Discharge here. Get 3 energies. Definitely 2 here, 1 there. Push this guy up. Go ahead and attach another one here. Alright, currently we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 4 energies left in our deck, so I think I'm just gonna hold this generator, to be honest. We can use that to power up Zekrom or something else next turn depending on what they do. So go ahead and just amp this guy. Alright. Let's see what they can do with this. So yeah, maybe like we get energies off this. They Iono us. Ooh, there's some energies. More generator. Then we'll be able to find draw back into our generators later, and then potentially use it when we need it. Although there's an argument at this point also that I have more than enough energies to at least power up 2 Iron Hands for the rest of the game, that I could just play the generators, like maybe get them out of my deck. This probably won't end up meeting them exactly. Alright, they got the double monkey situation going. So they could knock out the... probably will knock out this Iron Hands for sure this turn. Which means we definitely want to bundle around this. Now, the good part about us knocking out the Ralts is they can't go King and Gardevoir. So, I mean, unless they bench Fez. Okay, there's Fez. But that's fine because... let's see, they will go down to... 3 prize cards here. So even if I Iron Bundle them and they push Fez, I could go with Zekrom, 280 them, knock out Fez, and then the following turn we just need boss Iron Hands for game. Or if they don't knock out the Zekrom, then we can just attack with the Zekrom. Let's see what they do. So yeah, it's gonna be either they knock out Iron Hands, go down to 1 prize card, or they knock out Zekrom. Whichever one they don't knock out, we'll be able to use to close out the game. And if they try not to take a knockout, I feel like we should be able to draw into... we have 2 boss, Prime Catcher, a Pokemon Catcher, and then potentially could draw another boss off the prizes from the next 2 prize cards. So it should be pretty reasonable for us to get a Gust here that we need to close out the game. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay. Ooh, they're keeping 290 is like... we need them to be at 280. If they're at 280, we could knock out the Gardevoir, but they're probably smart enough to know not to do that. Down a lot of monkeys. Okay, here we go. To Iron Bundle first, see what they do. Then we'll hit both these generators and then research probably. I'll push this Mew up. And then hopefully, yeah, we can draw a couple cards. Okay. We'll go ahead and get this guy. I could even... if they don't push Fez, then the Blood Moon is going to be active. Now, another funny play is we could trap the Gardevoir here, but I don't think it gets us much out of that. So yeah, we got plenty of outs. Let's just go ahead and see what they do here. I think now is a good time to use the bundle. They're probably going to push Fez. If they don't push Fez, it makes our lives a lot easier. Although we do need to hit 1 off this generator. Okay. We had to hit 1 off the generator either way. Alright. But sequence is a little bit weird. I'm gonna play this. Debating whether or not I want to draw the Fez. The Fez is gonna be stronger in the late game. If they try and knock it out. 10, 2. I think it's... yeah, I'm not sure what that math is, to be honest. Alright, let's just go... we'll just pass on that for now. But we'll play these generators. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. We'll get 1 here, 1 here. Play another generator. That's okay. Don't need that. This guy is doing enough there. Restart for 2. Nice. Research. Okay, I think we should have all the pieces we need to close this out. And if they bench Fez again, we can go boss attach Fez. So knock out with Blood Moon. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna keep all the Pokemon search in my deck so we can find the whatever pieces we need to close the game later. All right. They kind of have to deal with my Iron Hands here, I feel like, because it's just such a big threat. But yeah, if they try and go for some kind of trap play, I mean, I think what they could do is like Flutter Mane, my Latias, Iono, but even then that doesn't, like, I'm just an energy and a boss away from, or Prime Catcher and energy away from winning the game. But then yeah, like it's a pretty cool situation, because like if they try to ignore these guys, then honestly maybe yeah, I think grabbing the Fez there probably would have been fine, because they can't really afford to ignore either of these, right? Like they're just too big a threat. So let's see. I mean, they still have 3 Ionos left, so definitely expecting to get Iono here. There it is. All right, so one boss goes to the bottom. Didn't draw the one of my bosses from my prize cards, so well, if we flip heads on this catcher, that's looking pretty good for us. All right, Dr. Cawthon, let's see if these catchers are worth it. So okay, like honestly, okay, Prime is still kind of close to the top. We do have a research and a Carmine left in our deck. I think the Carmine did get shuffled to the bottom, so let me double check what we sent to the bottom here. Oh, okay, all of our supporters are at the bottom, so actually drawing into any of these would be kind of good. So I think I'm gonna shuffle my deck. We're gonna play the hand down and then draw 3. Could also get Fez, yeah. So I don't want this Magnemite, right? Because Magnemite, Zekrom, Fez. Yeah, I think no, we definitely don't want the Magnemite, because they can just double monkey knock it out next turn. Definitely not. Okay, so we're just gonna go like this. We'll play this. If heads, win. If no, keep going and keep going. So all right, attach hands, restart into boss and win. Okay. So unfortunately that is our last generator, so there's no way for us to power up the Zekrom here, but we can still find, honestly let's still play it, because we want to thin the energies out of our deck if we hit any. Okay, great, go ahead and put that one right there. And then I mean, we're seeing 50% of our deck, so if Prime Catcher is in the next 7 cards, we win 50-50, and we get there. Pretty nice. And then also, yeah, we could have drawn into Fez as well. So yeah, that was a really interesting beginning of the game. So like, even with a slow start, we were able to kind of capitalize on their kind of, you know, lackluster turn 2, which is pretty good. Now, obviously we would have loved to have Squawked or Carmine turn 1, and that would have put us in a way better position. But yeah, still able to come back from that one. Power of double Iron Hands, really strong. The threat of Zekrom and Iron Hands, combination of those two together honestly was really good for that one. So yeah. All right, so getting into a game here with the Ross Cawthon inspired Miraidon EX deck. Looks like we lost the coin flip, but they're giving us first anyway, which is pretty good, because we want to be going first to get those, prioritize those energy attachments, which is really important. Our hand isn't that great, but we do have Squawkabilly, so that's nice. We can work with that. We're going up against a Goldango, and since we're going first, if we're able to take the first 2 prize cards with Iron Hands, that'll put us in a pretty good spot. So let's see if this mulligan can help. Ooh, that is pretty good. really like seeing that because now we can go Carmine and Squawk. Oh, it looks like a Goldango Joltik deck. Okay, so we have a couple options, and we have the Nest Ball. This is looking like a much better hand. Okay, so how do we want to play this? Definitely gonna Carmine. Losing Rod and Boss is fine. One of these will get Squawkabilly, and we have an Iron Hands available. So let's go ahead and see what's in our deck. And then like they kind of have the Jolting Charge, right? Because they don't play Energy Surge Pro, which means we can pretty safely rely on this Iron Hand sticking in play. No, we do want to get Latias as well, and we have a Magnemite in the active, so we can go just Squawkabilly, and then ideally we should be able to find the Latias by then. And if not, we can just pop the Magneton in the active if we need to. So it looks like we have all of our support Pokemon in play or in the deck. Okay, we prized the Magneton, so that's kind of relevant. Keep track of regenerators, 11 energies. Prized a Neston and Ultra Ball. Let's see here. Magneton, Nest, Ultra. Let's go ahead and get rid of. Honestly, playing the catcher is interesting here, but I don't want to put the Miraidon in play. We can always knock this out later with the Blood Moon or Zekrom as well. So yeah, we'll deal with that when the time comes. We don't need it immediately. Go ahead and get our friend Squawking Billy right here. Now, actually getting the Squawkabilly in play is kind of awkward because if they power up an Iron Hands and they were forced to use a Magnemite, they could just go amp the Squawkabilly with the Prime Catcher and then only have 2 more prize cards left to take. But actually, now that I'm rethinking this, I think I'm gonna grab the Latias. Now I might regret this if our hand sucks, but we should be able to find the Squawkabilly if we really need to, and if not, I think it's maybe safer to not have the Squawk in play. So yeah, we prize a generator. Okay, so things could get interesting for sure. We prize generator and 2 energies, so let's go ahead and grab this. They probably think that we prize Squawkabilly, but I think I'm gonna be a little bit more careful. We don't have Squawkabilly, but we have Mew. We can bench this for sure. We can bench this. Hand does kind of suck, but we can play a Carmine. You know, we'll go ahead and play this catcher, make them find a way to move this. Okay, it's heads. They're probably going to end up with the Joltik back in the active anyway, so I think it'll be fine. Draw 1 with this restart, and then... Alright, we're definitely relying on Magnemite this game. But I think it'll be okay because we don't have Squawkabilly in place, so they can't take advantage of that easy 2-turn win condition that would open up for them by me having benched the Squawkabilly. So yeah, let's see what they're able to put together. I will need a lot here. I need another lightning in the Dare Scar pile, so ideally we top deck a lightning energy or Ultra Ball into a lightning, or draw into a lightning Ultra Ball. And then we need another lightning attached for turn, or like a generator hitting. Ideally we just don't have to use a Magneton, but okay, so they didn't even go for the Iron Hands, which I mean makes sense now, right? But if we bench the Squawkabilly, I'm like 99% certain they just bench Iron Hands, and then we pretty much would lose if we if they're able to get the gust up my Squawkabilly. But they also don't have Goldango in play, so like after like trying to limit their top deck lightning, just as I asked for. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna we're gonna Carmine this. Oh no, Magneton found. Okay, how do we fix this? We'll go... I mean, they don't have Iron Hands, so I can like wait another turn. Although, that's pretty unfortunate. Like, they can just power up their Miraidon now also. Alright, you know what? Let's yeah, we can't even draw any cards with this, so I think think we'll just end it here and see what they're able to put together. Like maybe we can draw double generator, KO Joltik. Hopefully they don't have Prime Zekrom or Prime hand. Oh, now they have Galvantula. Well, I can't retreat this for free. So they want my Iron Hands. Okay. That does make things a little bit awkward, but we can kill this with Zekrom. I mean, maybe we can run them out of attackers or energies. They have no drop power, right? Let's see what we can do. I'm not like crazy worried yet, but like definitely doesn't feel great. There's also a world where we just magnetic charge this turn. That doesn't feel great. Also, Lightning Ball could break the Pikachu, honestly. Yeah, if we can is that better? No, Loki might be better. But then we're really relying on generators, right? Okay, so this is really awkward. Let's go with this. Let's go with this. Okay, so we get heads on that. At this point, it might be better to just we'll just take the Miraidon. Now we have to just basically hit off this. Okay. I'm gonna bench this hands. I'm gonna play this generator. Actually, if I bench this Miraidon, okay. Well, I definitely can't attack with the Miraidon anyway, right? Like, but we might need this as an attacker. So let me just go ahead and bench it. Thins our hand also, so we can draw with Mew. Hits 2 off this. That's excellent. Let's go ahead and do that. We get 2 prize cards this turn for sure. We can keep the prime. We'll just draw 1. Ooh, Vengeful Shock. Ooh, Vengeful Shock could be good to break the Pikachu as well. Alright, let's see what we can do. So I'll just knock this guy out. Bye-bye. Okay, so fortunately we don't have any hand disruption because like Iona them to 1 with no Fez or Mew or Goldango in play is like really good. They also kind of can't bench a Gimme Goal maybe. Well, it's not like the end of the world because like they have Galvantula in that, so I think it's fine. They probably do just want to like start drawing. Here they could get Puffin and then like do that. See what they grab. Oh, Vessel. Alright, so they're confident that I can't do anything about this Pikachu, but they don't know we have the Vengeful Shock. So, alright, let's see. Yeah, we just need 1 energy plus a hit off generator, or we could Magneton to guarantee it as well. So the other issue though is, let's see. Actually, Vengeful Shock doesn't have an ability. Wait, they also just have like no energies in play now, right? So now I can go. Now I can just go amp the Galvantula, and then just KO this guy, right? Am I missing something? Oh, they could have Blood Moon. Okay, they could have Blood Moon, but like this is already alright. Yeah, we'll just deal with the Galvantula, and hopefully they can't do anything about that. Okay. Alright, so I think at this point we just have to we'll just grab Fez and like see what we can get with that. Oh, my bad. Fez is in the discard pile and it's not coming back. Neither is the Blood Moon Ursaluna. Alright, so in that case we can grab let's see. So we can amp this. The Vengeful Shock won't work anymore because if you take any more prize cards, they're probably winning the game, right? So let's just grab Zekrom. Yeah, we can. Let's see. Probably gonna just ditch this because we can just research. Get the magneton. What's left? We do have a boss still, and then 2 generators and 5 energies. Okay, not the best, but if we can hit one of these generators, that'd be pretty good. Let's restart for 1. I should have played the prime catcher first. Like, I'm always knocking that out, right? That's the goal. Anyway, let's bring up Latias so we can get some options. Research. Okay, we got the energy. There's only 3 left in deck now. Bundle is like low-key kind of good, right? So let's just hit this generator and see what we get. Okay, that's 1. Put that on this guy for sure. Can also attach for turn. I will have to use this. Definitely. So we'll put 3 on this guy. Then we can attach to the Zekrom as well. Okay. Could Ultra Ball these. I think I'll just hold this. Yep, and then we'll just amp and see what they got. If they find Blood Moon, they pretty much just win, but I think they have the energies in hand already anyways from their vessel. Actually don't remember if this deck plays Blood Moon, to be honest. Maybe I'm trolling, but maybe I don't have it. I mean, yeah, like their deck is still like we literally have a third of the deck size. Like they haven't been doing anything. Like and the Iron Bundle is like less good now, but I mean, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could, okay, we can thin our hand down completely and then restart to try and find boss. It might have to be the play. Alright, let's see what is in our deck. Literally 1 boss. Now, if they just have Goldango Superior, they do win next turn. So we really need to win this turn. See, what can we do? We might as well just get that Squawkabilly, right? Because it never makes a difference whether we have it in play or not. I'm gonna go ahead and play this Iron Bundle. Maybe they'll give us... Actually, the Iron Bundle might just be enough, right? If they give us Latias, then we need to hit 1 off this generator plus attach for turn. Let's see. Yeah, they have to give us Latias. Ultra Ball away. I'll grab this. Okay, so if we can hit... Okay, 2 out of 7 chance to hit off this generator. We could also draw... I guess we could draw another generator off the restart or boss. So, yeah. Let's see. We have some options. So I will power this up and just play the generator and see what we get. And that's the game right there. Let's go. A big 330 damage from our Zekrom. GG's, and that was a crazy game, but yeah, thanks for watching. That was certainly an interesting one. It did get a little bit scary not being able to bench the Squawkabilly, but you know, they had definitely a lot of ways they could prevent me from taking prize cards, but since they ran themselves out of energies and didn't really have a way to close. Like that really helped us a lot. But yeah, thanks for watching. Shout out to Project Artemis and our sponsors FCBC and Heavy Play for sponsoring the players and their team. And we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.